It was the year 3089. Earth had changed a lot over the centuries. Cities now floated in the sky, cars could fly, and robots worked in many places. People lived longer, and technology was everywhere. But the biggest change came when Earth joined the Galactic Education Union. This was a group of planets from across the galaxy. They worked together to share science, culture, and education. The Union had schools where students from many different planets could study together. Until now, Earth had only watched from afar. Humans were still new to space life, and the other planets weren't sure if Earth was ready. But after years of peace and progress, the time had come. Earth was invited to join, and everyone was excited. As part of the welcome, an intergalactic student exchange program was started. That meant alien students would come to Earth to learn about humans, and some Earth students would travel to alien schools to learn about other species. At the Intergalactic Learning Center in New York City, everyone was getting ready. This school was specially built for both humans and aliens. It had rooms that could change temperature, gravity, and even air type to make aliens feel at home. On a bright Monday morning, the first group of alien students arrived. Their ship was large and shiny, shaped like a silver triangle. It landed gently in the schoolyard as students and teachers gathered to watch. The aliens were from a planet called Tharnan, known for its peaceful people and brilliant scientists. There were 5 alien students in the group, and they looked very different from humans. Their skin glowed in soft colors: blue, green, purple, and they each had 4 eyes. Their clothes looked like smooth glass and moved like water. They stepped out of the ship and looked around. Some students gasped. Others took pictures. The aliens, in return, blinked slowly and smiled politely. One of them stepped forward. His name was Zarko, and he was the group leader. "Greetings from Zarnan," he said, speaking perfect English through a small silver chip on his neck. "We are here to learn about human culture. We thank you for your welcome." The crowd clapped. Teachers bowed. And one girl, smiling widely, stepped forward. Her name was Mia, and she had been chosen as the alien group's Earth guide. Mia was a cheerful 16-year-old girl with curly black hair, bright eyes, and a love for adventure. She had studied alien languages, science, and culture for years, hoping for a chance to meet real aliens. "Hi, everyone," she said. "I'm Mia, and I'll be your guide during your stay. Get ready. Earth is full of surprises." Zarko and the others smiled. One alien, named Luma, whispered to her friend, "She seems energetic." The school gave the aliens a tour. They saw the classrooms, the gym, the cafeteria, and the living areas. The aliens were amazed by Earth's colors, smells, and sounds. Everything was new to them. As the tour ended, the aliens looked at each other. "So far," Zarko said, "humans seem friendly." "Yes," said Veen, another alien student, "but also different." Mia turned around and grinned. "Just wait until lunch. You haven't seen anything yet." The aliens didn't know it yet, but their journey on Earth was going to be full of confusion, surprises, and laughter. Humans were strange, but also wonderful in their own way. And the aliens were about to learn that being human was one of the weirdest experiences in the universe. After the school tour, Mia looked at the group of alien students and smiled. "You've seen the classrooms and dorms," she said, "but now it's time for something very important: lunch." The aliens tilted their heads. "Lunch?" Zarko asked. "It's the meal we eat in the middle of the day," Mia explained. "You eat multiple times a day?" asked Luma, her 4 eyes blinking quickly. "Of course," Mia laughed. "Most people eat at least 3 meals a day, sometimes more." The aliens looked at each other in surprise, but followed Mia as she led them to the cafeteria. The room was big, bright, and filled with students chatting, laughing, and lining up for food. The smell of hot fries, cheesy pizza, spicy noodles, and sweet desserts filled the air. Mia grabbed a tray and piled it with food. A double cheeseburger, curly fries, a large chocolate milkshake, and a slice of apple pie. She looked at the aliens and grinned. "This is one of my favorite meals." The alien students stared at her tray in shock. "That's a lot of food," said Veen. "And what is that brown thing between two flat pieces?" asked Darko, pointing at the burger. "It's a burger," Mia said proudly. "Bread, beef, cheese, pickles, classic Earth lunch." Luma leaned in. "Humans eat animals." Mia paused. "Well, some do. Others are vegetarian or vegan. It's a personal choice." Zarko frowned. "On Sarnan, we grow energy pods. One small pod can power us for 3 days, and they're made from sun crystals and water vapor. No chewing, no cooking." "That sounds boring," Mia said, taking a big bite of her burger. The aliens winced as they heard the crunch of fries and the loud slurp of her milkshake. "Why do humans chew their food so loudly?" asked Veen quietly. "Is this normal behavior?" whispered Luma. "It's part of the fun," Mia said, not hearing them. "Eating is more than just energy for us. It's about taste, texture, and even emotions. We celebrate with food, relax with food, and sometimes even eat when we're not hungry." Zarko looked confused. "You eat for fun?" Mia nodded and offered him a fry. "Try it." Zarko took the small, golden stick and sniffed it. Then slowly he placed it in his mouth. He chewed. His eyes went wide. "It's salty and soft, but also crispy." The others tried too. Veen liked the sweetness of the milkshake, but made a face at the burger. Luma was fascinated by the apple pie and asked, "Is this made from a plant?" "Yep," Mia said. "Apples from trees, crust from wheat." Zarko was still holding a fry. "This is the first time I've tasted something just because it tastes good. We don't do that on Sarnan." "Well, welcome to Earth," Mia said proudly. "We take our food very seriously." The alien sat down at a table with her, still surprised. Around them, human students laughed, chatted, and shared snacks. One boy was even eating something red and sticky with his hands. "What is that?" asked Luma. "That's spaghetti. Don't ask," Mia said with a smile. By the end of lunch, the alien students had tasted many things. Some they liked, some they didn't, but one thing was clear. Humans had a very strange relationship with food. As they stood to leave, Zarko turned to Mia. "Eating on Earth is strange, but also kind of exciting." Mia laughed. "Just wait until we get to snacks." The aliens gulped. "There's more." After lunch, Mia led the alien students to the dormitory area where they would be living during their stay on Earth. "This is where you'll sleep and rest," Mia said as they walked through the long hallway filled with colorful doors and posters. "Each of you has your own room, with a bed, desk, closet, and a bathroom." The aliens stopped walking. Zarko raised a hand. "What is a bathroom?" Mia turned to him, surprised. "You don't have bathrooms on your planet." "We have hygiene stations," Veen replied. "But we only visit them once a month. A machine cleans our bodies with light and vapor in 10 seconds. 10 seconds? Mia blinked. Humans usually wash every day. "All over their bodies?" asked Luma with wide eyes. "Usually, yes," Mia said. "Let me show you how it works." She opened the door to her own dorm room to give them a quick tour. It was cozy and bright, with posters of space, a fluffy bed, and a bookshelf full of alien novels. Then she pointed to a smaller door on the side. "This is the bathroom," she said, walking inside. The aliens peeked in cautiously. There was a sink, a mirror, a toilet, and a shower with a glass door and silver knobs. "This is where we wash our hands and brush our teeth," Mia said, turning on the water at the sink. The aliens jumped back as water splashed out. "Why are there two knobs?" asked Zarko. "One for hot water, one for cold," Mia explained. "You mix them to get the right temperature." "Why would someone want hot water on their skin?" Veen asked, shocked. "It feels nice." Mia smiled. "And it helps clean better." She picked up a toothbrush and showed them. "This is how we clean our teeth. We do it twice a day, sometimes more." "You scrub your mouth with foam," Luma said, staring at the toothpaste. "Yes," Mia laughed. "Otherwise, our teeth get yellow or rot." "Rotting teeth." Zarko made a face. "That sounds like a horror movie." Mia chuckled. Then she pointed to the shower. "And this is where we clean our bodies. We use soap, water, shampoo, and sometimes conditioner for hair." The aliens looked at each other. "We don't have hair," Veen said. "I know," Mia nodded. "But humans do. And some of us are very serious about hair care." "And what is this bowl thing?" Luma asked, pointing at the toilet. "That's a toilet," Mia said. "We use it when we, go to the bathroom. You sit on it, then flush." She pressed the button, and the toilet whooshed loudly. The aliens all jumped again. "What just happened?" Zarko asked, alarmed. "Relax," Mia laughed. "It just takes waste away using water." "That seems very wet and complicated," Veen muttered. "It's normal for us," Mia said. "Most humans can't live without daily showers and brushing." "I feel like I've entered a water world," Luma whispered. Back in their own rooms, the aliens examined their personal bathrooms. Everything was shiny and white. The mirrors confused them. Luma thought someone else was in the room when she looked into it. Zarko poked the toilet with a stick. Veen pressed the shower button and accidentally sprayed herself with water. She yelped and ran out of the bathroom soaking wet. Mia couldn't stop laughing. "Don't worry, you'll get used to it," she said. Zarko sighed. "I don't know how humans deal with all this mess." "But I must admit," Veen said, drying off with a towel, "my skin feels strangely fresh." "Maybe there's something to this soap idea," Luma added thoughtfully. That night, they made a note in their learning report. Human cleaning rituals are strange, complicated, and wet. But they might be worth it. After a long day of exploring the school, eating strange foods, and learning about Earth bathrooms, the alien students were feeling tired. Or at least, the closest thing to tired that they understood. Mia noticed them looking a little slower than before. "You guys okay?" "We are. Low on energy," said Zarko. "Then it's time to sleep," Mia said cheerfully. "Let's get you to your rooms." The aliens followed her through the dormitory hallway. Each of them had been given a small private room with a soft bed, a desk, and shelves. "This is where you'll sleep every night," Mia said, pointing at the beds. Zarko stepped into his room and stared at the bed like it was a strange machine. He poked it. "It's soft," he said. "It's supposed to be," Mia replied. "You lie down, close your eyes, and let your body rest. Humans usually sleep 6 to 8 hours every night." Luma tilted her head. "So you just stop moving? For hours?" Mia nodded. "Yep. Our bodies and minds need rest." Veen looked confused. "But on Zarnan, we don't sleep like that. We use recharge pods. We stand inside them for 5 minutes, and our minds get recharged by energy waves. No dreams. No blankets. No snoring. You snore? Luma asked Mia. Sometimes, Mia admitted with a laugh, especially after too much pizza. The aliens stared at her. Mia sighed. All right, let me show you how it works. She went into her own room and flopped down on her bed. See, just lie back like this. Zarko slowly climbed onto his bed and tried to lie flat. He kept his eyes open. Now close your eyes, Mia instructed. Zarko blinked, then shut them. Is something supposed to happen? Not right away, Mia said. Just relax. Don't think too much. That's hard, he replied. I'm thinking about floating cows and upside-down trees now. Why cows? Mia laughed. No idea, Zarko said. Your planet is confusing. In the room next door, Veen was trying to lie down too. She rolled to the side, then to her back, then tried curling up like she saw in a movie. This is very uncomfortable, she muttered. Luma was already under her blanket, pretending to sleep. Maybe we just close our eyes and wait. After 15 minutes, Mia peeked into each room. Zarko was still awake and asking the ceiling, Is this sleep yet? Veen had fallen off her bed and was lying on the floor with a pillow on her face. Luma had somehow gotten tangled in the blanket and was spinning slowly in a circle. Mia couldn't help it. She burst out laughing. You guys are doing your best. That's what matters. Later that night, something strange happened. Luma finally fell asleep. She began to dream. She saw colorful lights, spinning stars, and a floating burger singing opera. She smiled in her sleep and made soft humming sounds. Zarko stayed awake the whole night, recording notes into his translator chip. Observation: human sleep is long, silent, and seems to make no sense. Vee finally drifted off just before sunrise. When she woke up an hour later, she sat up and said, That was interesting. I saw pictures in my head. They're called dreams, Mia said, yawning. They happen when we sleep. Sometimes good, sometimes weird. I saw a rabbit flying a spaceship, Veen said. Totally normal, Maya replied with a grin. By morning, none of the aliens felt fully rested, but all of them had experienced something new. In their report, they wrote, Humans shut down for many hours in soft beds. They dream of strange things. Sleep is confusing but oddly fun. Zarko added one final note. Humans are excellent at doing nothing for long periods. It was a bright Tuesday morning, and the alien students were starting to settle into life at the Earth School. They still found many human habits strange, but they were slowly adjusting. Zarko had figured out how to flush the toilet without jumping. Luma had started to enjoy brushing her teeth, and Veen was getting used to sleeping in a bed, even if she still didn't understand dreams. But that day, the aliens were about to discover something even stranger than Earth food or sleep: human emotions. After breakfast, the students entered a large room with soft chairs and walls covered in colorful posters. A cheerful human teacher named Ms. Lopez smiled at the class. Welcome to communication class, she said brightly. Today we'll learn about feelings. The alien students blinked at each other. Feelings? Zarko whispered. Is this a science class? Ms. Lopez clapped her hands. Let's start with something simple. Everyone, tell me how you feel today. One student stood up. I feel excited because I have a soccer game later. Another said, I'm a little nervous. I have a math test. Mia raised her hand. I'm happy because the weather is nice. Then Ms. Lopez looked at the aliens. And how about our guests from Zarnan? How are you feeling today? Zarko stood up slowly. We are functioning normally. Ms. Lopez smiled kindly. That's good, but can you name an emotion? like happy, sad, worried, or excited. Zarko looked lost. We do not feel emotions like humans do. We remain calm to think clearly. Mia leaned over and whispered, "You don't cry when you're sad. Or laugh when something's funny." Luma raised her hand. "We have something like emotions, but we keep them private." On Sarnan, showing too much emotion is seen as strange. Ms. Lopez nodded. "Well, here on Earth, emotions are a big part of our daily lives. Humans express how they feel, with words, with faces, with actions. Let me show you." She played a short video. In the video, a girl dropped her ice cream cone and began to cry. Another person gave her a new one, and she smiled with joy. The alien students watched closely. "She was leaking from her eyes," said Veen. "Is that crying?" "Yes," Mia said. "Humans cry when they're sad, or sometimes when they're very happy." "Leaking is emotional," Luma said, taking notes. Next, Ms. Lopez passed out emotion cards with pictures of human faces showing different feelings. Happy, angry, confused, scared, embarrassed. Zarko looked at the angry card. "Do humans often become red and loud like this?" "Sometimes," Mia said. "Especially when someone eats the last slice of pizza." Bean held up the embarrassed card. "What is this one?" Mia grinned. "That's when something awkward happens, like tripping in front of your crush." "Crush?" Bean asked, confused. "I'll explain that later," Mia giggled. Suddenly, a loud laugh came from the back of the room. A student had told a joke, and half the class was laughing. The aliens jumped in surprise. "Why are they making that loud noise?" Zarko asked. "They're laughing," Mia said. "It means they're happy or amused." On Sarnan, laughter didn't exist. When something was clever, they just blinked twice and moved on. By the end of class, the aliens were amazed. Humans didn't just feel things. They showed them loudly, with their whole bodies. They smiled. They laughed. They cried. They shouted. Sometimes all in the same day. Later, Zarko wrote in his learning log, "Humans are emotional creatures. Their faces move a lot, and their voices change with every feeling. They are like walking storms, but warm ones." Luma added, "Earth feels louder, but also more alive." Bean looked around the room, full of smiles and chatter, and said, "Maybe showing emotions isn't so strange after all." It was Saturday, and the human students were buzzing with excitement. No classes, no homework, just one thing on their minds, fun. Mia met up with the alien students in the common room. They were sitting quietly, reading a book titled How to Understand Humans in 10 Easy Steps. "Guess what?" Mia said with a grin. "Today is for fun." Zarko looked up. "We're always learning." "What is fun?" Mia laughed. "Fun means doing something just because you enjoy it. No goals, no grades, just happiness." "But that sounds unproductive," Veen said, frowning. "Exactly," Mia replied. "That's the point." She led them outside to the school's large recreation field. Other students were already there, some playing soccer, some flying kites, some just lying on the grass listening to music. The alien students looked around, confused. Zarko pointed at two boys chasing each other and shouting. "Are they fighting?" "Nope, they're playing tag," Mia explained. "One chases, the other runs. If you're touched, you're it. Then you switch roles." "Why?" Luma asked. "Because it's fun," Mia said again. She ran off to join a group of kids playing kickball and waved for the aliens to follow. Slowly, they joined in. At first, they were terrible. Zarko kicked the ball straight up into the air, and it landed on his head. Veen ran the wrong way around the bases. Luma kept asking, "Is it over yet?" But after a while, something strange happened. They started laughing. Zarko tried to catch a ball and missed completely, but laughed anyway. Veen finally kicked the ball and cheered so loudly that even the birds flew away. Luma made a silly dance after scoring and the others copied her. Later, they tried a human board game called Snakes and Ladders. It had no logic, no strategy, just dice, luck, and surprises. The aliens were shocked. "You mean we just roll and move?" Zarko asked. Yes, Mia giggled. "You don't control anything. You just see what happens." "This is madness," Luma said. "Welcome to fun," Mia replied. After the board game, Mia gave them popsicles, cold, sweet treats on sticks. The aliens had never tasted anything like them. Zarko got a brain freeze and held his head in shock. "Is this danger?" "No," Mia said between laughs. "That's a brain freeze. Totally normal." Later in the evening, the students gathered for a movie night. The film was a comedy about a talking dog who becomes a superhero. "This is not realistic," Veen said seriously. "Exactly," Mia replied. "That's what makes it fun." At first, the aliens didn't understand the jokes. But then, a scene came where the dog tries to fly but crashes into a cake. Everyone laughed, including Zarko. "That is illogical and pointless," he said. "But did you like it?" Mia asked. Yes, he'd admitted. Very much. As the night ended, the aliens sat on the grass looking at the stars. They were quiet for a moment. "I never knew doing something silly could feel so good," Luma said softly. "On Sarnan, we only do things for results. Today had no purpose. But I feel happy," Veen added. Zarko nodded. Maybe fun is a kind of learning. Just not the kind you can measure. Mia smiled at them. "You're starting to understand Earth." In their report, the aliens wrote, "Humans waste time on purpose and enjoy it. Fun is confusing, but powerful. It makes them laugh, bond, and feel joy. Maybe it's not a waste at all." Zarko added one last line. "Today, we were not just students. We were happy." The time had come. After 2 weeks on Earth, the alien students from planet Farnan were getting ready to leave. Their spaceship was scheduled to arrive at midnight, and Mia felt a strange mix of emotions, sadness, pride, and something she couldn't explain. The whole school had gathered to say goodbye. Students gave the aliens small gifts: a soccer ball, a fuzzy blanket, a toothbrush, a toy rocket, and even a drawing of all of them together. "You guys really changed our school," said Mia, hugging Luma. "You changed us too," Luma replied. "We thought we came to study humans, but it feels like we made friends." Zarko stood with his hands behind his back, holding his emotion in as usual. But even he looked softer than before. "I thought your habits were strange," he said to Mia. "But now I think your world is full of something powerful." "What's that?" she asked. "Feeling, connection, joy," he said. As they walked through the school one last time, memories filled their minds. The first time they tried pizza and got confused by cheese. The surprise of a loud toilet flush. Sleeping in soft beds and dreaming of flying rabbits. Watching humans laugh, cry, and dance. Playing games just for fun. Feeling emotions, not just observing them. When they reached the spaceship landing field, the ground lit up with blue lights, and a soft hum filled the air. The Klarnon ship hovered down slowly. It was shiny, round, and looked like a glowing bubble. The alien students turned to the crowd. Veen stepped forward and held up her translator chip. "People of Earth," she said, We thank you for showing us a different way of life, one filled with flavor, feelings, and funny things. We will share your habits with our home planet. Though they may laugh at us, we will tell them that humans are not foolish. They are fascinating. Luma added, on Zarnan, we believe in quiet order and logic. But here, we learned that being messy, loud, and emotional can also be beautiful. Zarko took a deep breath. Your world confused us, but it also inspired us. We are not the same aliens who arrived here. Mia wiped her eyes. I'm gonna miss you guys. We will miss you too, said Luma. The spaceship door opened with a soft hiss. The alien students stepped inside. But before the door closed, Zarko turned around and said, Mia, remember what I told you on the first day? That humans are strange, she guessed. He nodded. I still believe that, but now I think maybe strange is good. With that, the door closed and the ship slowly lifted off the ground. Blue lights flashed, and within seconds, it disappeared into the night sky. Mia stood for a while, staring at the stars. She whispered, Goodbye, weird aliens. Back in space, the Xarnan students wrote their final report. Mission Earth, complete. Human habits are unusual, confusing, and often illogical. But they are full of heart. We have learned not just with our minds, but with our feelings. Earth is not just a planet. It is a place of connection. We will return. Meanwhile, on Earth, Mia looked up and smiled. She had a feeling this was not the end of the story. It was just the beginning.